I genuinely can't believe what I've just watched. I can't believe my eyes. What a fabulous football game. Game of the season already. So far, definitely game of the season. What a fabulous game of football. They've delivered. It had everything. Goals, last minute winner, young teenager scoring, red cards, yellow cards. It had absolutely everything. I know we always say football games have everything. This one genuinely had everything. The drama, the subplots with Isak and whatever was going on. How typical of Liverpool to win this match. How typical. You don't have to play well to win this match. Just take your chances. Just have great quality moments to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what champions do. At the end of the day, that is really what champions do. And what a game from the beginning to the end. I want to say for me, my man of the match is Bruno Guimaraes. My man of the match is Bruno G because he was absolutely amazing. He stood on business. As soon as there was that Isak saga where Isak put out a statement, Newcastle put out a statement too. You know that this guy bleeds Newcastle United. And there was a report of a divide between players who are supporting Isak and players who aren't and are standing with the club. And I'm pretty sure he was standing with the club. You can see why he's captain. He posted the picture that he was serious. You know that picture that he posted where he was just so focused and serious and ready to kill the next game. And that's how Newcastle were coming. They were very aggressive in their challenges. This game, you knew that there were going to be lots of cards. You knew that there was going to be a red card. It was always threatening to boil over. It was geared up for war, and it was war at the end of the day, right? So he fought tooth and nail from start to finish, got a yellow card, put challenges in, but also had amazing moments of quality, of just tackling, of running non-stop, tireless running up until literally the 100th minute in this football game. And he also scored to try get Newcastle back in it. What a fabulous game by him. That is a leader I would follow to war. That man can take me to war. I do think for sure, if you're Manchester United, you take the 100 million and you go give it to Newcastle for this guy. Like, I don't know why it's taken teams so long when they really need that type of midfielder in the team. He goes into any squad for me. He is absolutely world class, and what a game by him. And it's very unfortunate for him to be on the losing end. At the end of the day, Newcastle were the better team than Liverpool. And let's be honest, that's just factual. Even in the first half, at 11 men, Newcastle were better. Liverpool stole the lead. Ryan Gravenberch has returned to the squad, and Liverpool did look a little bit more solid in midfield, right? And he got a goal. Also, his hard work should not go unnoticed. He was dragged everywhere by Newcastle. He was forced into tackles that he didn't want to make, got a yellow card, but he still stood firm. He was solid and still had the moment of quality to grab a goal. It was a brilliant goal by him. Snapshot. Pope is not seeing that. Pope is not saving that. Yes, I know there's a deflection, but I don't think he sees that. I think it was a very good strike by Gravenberch. Deserves his goal for the strike. I think it was very instinctive and it was a good attempt, right? But at that point, Newcastle were the better team. Newcastle were the better team, and Liverpool literally stole the lead. They stole the lead. They were terrible all game. But then Gordon leaves a nasty tackle on Van Dijk. That is a red card all day. No one should argue why that's a red card. It's a red card. It's clear. He's high. He's ran into Van Dijk with so much force and intensity. He catches him high. He leaves stud marks on Van Dijk's calf. It's a red card. Easily. No one should debate that. He's not even closing down the ball. Like, at least if he comes in front and then tries to block the ball and Van Dijk follows through after his kick, then maybe, you can discuss it. But he's clearly just went for Van Dijk's standing leg there, and it's a red card. Now, with that being said, Van Dijk last season left something off the ball. He literally put his shoulder and hit Gordon on the face. He was not given a card for it or anything, right? So I think that was revenge by Gordon, and fair play. I respect it. It's a red card. He's cost his team, yes, but I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He was not having it. Yes, they shook hands at the end of the day, but I think he wanted to get something back on Van Dijk, and he did. So for me, it's a red card, but fair play to the fact that he felt like he had to get him back. He just had to get him back, and I respect it. I just respect it. It's a red card, cost his team, but I respect it. Either way, second half starts, and Liverpool score immediately. Slot wasn't even out of the tunnel when Ekitike scored. He scored in 3 Liverpool games in a row. His first 3. Scored in the Community Shield, his first game, scored in his first Premier League game, and now has scored in his first Premier League away game against Newcastle. Very impressive, and it's a good goal by him. It's a great finish. Bottom corner, Nick Pope has no chance saving that, right? The quality of the strikes from Liverpool was so good that Nick Pope barely had to make a save this game, but he conceded 3 goals because they were so good, right? So yeah, Liverpool were very efficient in their finishing, prolific, clinical. That's what we say, right? But at 2-0, I thought the game is over. I thought the game was over at 1-0 with Newcastle being a man down. I literally thought the game was over. But then at 2-0, Newcastle started doing everything, getting the ball in the box, and I think that is how you play. Obviously, Eddie Howe didn't have a striker really to bring on. Well, that's what we thought. So he still kept Elanga and Harvey Barnes, and he was just not playing with the central man because Gordon was off, right? And basically, they were getting balls into the box, getting all their midfielders and their runners up the pitch, their defenders up the pitch, playing the set piece game the way the set piece game should be played. None of these short corners, none of these short free kicks, pass it around. Get the ball into the box, cross it, corners, free kicks, throw-ins. They went for the long throws and it paid off. What a header by Bruno G. He just threw himself in there. Like I've already spoken about him. But Kirkes has had, I think, a very difficult start to his Liverpool career. He was eaten alive by Semenyo last week against Bournemouth, right? Got a yellow card and was hooked. Terrible debut. And again, he's literally not even jumping for the ball. He's backing into him and has crouched. He's crouched, but Bruno G didn't fall for it. He focused on the ball, kept his eye on the ball, and threw his head on it and got a goal. What a great goal, and got Newcastle back into the game, and they came. And like I said, Eddie Howe then threw on Ursula, and he got a goal. What a story. You couldn't script this game. His first chance and he scored. He's run in behind. Again, it's a long ball. It's a flick on, or no one gets a touch to it, but then it bounces and he gets there first. That's why I'm saying you play the set piece game, the long set piece, old type of football game with 10 men behind you losing. You throw everything at it and you fight for the second balls. Newcastle got their goal. It was 2-2. And the craziest thing, they went and got the ball from the back of the net, took it to the center line to say, let's play. They want the winner. I'm like, play for the draw. In my head, I'm screaming, play for the draw. Save time, right? Because I think we are all proud of their performance at this rate. We are so impressed, but they wanted more. But I respect that mentality. They risked it all to try win it all. Even with 10 men, they were better than Liverpool, and they ended up walking away with nothing. We were respected, but maybe sometimes you have to be a little bit smarter when you're playing the game to try at least not lose it, right? Maybe don't take unnecessary risks. With that being said, 11 minutes were added. I was also shocked. Yes, there was a lot of stoppages, lots of injuries, but I don't know, 11 minutes seemed excessive. I was thinking 6, 8, 11, more than 10. That is absolutely crazy. Remember, the red card happened in the first half, so it couldn't have been anything coming from the first half. So I just thought 11 was a lot. Then Liverpool scored in the 10th. So maybe, Newcastle fans can have something to complain about there as why was it 11? Really, why was it 11? But the goal from Liverpool, the third goal, was goal of the day. Absolutely brilliant from Liverpool. It was typical Liverpool that you knew that they would still win this game after being terrible. That's what champions do. That's what Liverpool does every single season. They also did this against Bournemouth. 2-0 up, dropped the lead, it's 2-2, and then they went and scored the winner. They did it again. Salah was non-existent the whole game, but he popped up with a winner against Bournemouth. He was non-existent the whole game today. Yes, I think he created a good chance though, let me be fair to him. He created a good chance that Curtis Jones didn't take. He just completely fluffed his lines. He didn't even make contact on the ball. So, he was there. He had his moment, but this time he has a great assist. So Bosley, for me, is also one of the man of the matches. From Liverpool's side, I thought he was fantastic. Playing makeshift right back, he was so solid in defense. Even when Newcastle got a red card, then he came into the middle, started playing a little bit, but he was always doing everything right defensively for a makeshift right back. But also in the crucial moment of the game, he has the awareness, the intelligence to just leave that ball a dummy for Rio, who who had just come on. The 16-year-old has scored a Premier League winner. He is 16, and it's an absolutely wonderful finish. Back to where the keeper's coming from. You don't save those. Nick Pope didn't even move, rooted to his spot because it's hit that well. The decision by him to go back to where the keeper's coming from makes good contact. He literally hits it so convincingly. What a brilliant goal, brilliant move by Liverpool. What a fabulous, fabulous football game. Like I said, it had everything. I could go on and on about it, but I'm just going to leave it there. What a game. I did say, do not miss this game. I said it, do not miss this game. And I was not missing this game for anything. Even if it was playing at 1 a.m., I was not missing this game. But they've delivered again. They gave us a 3-3 last season. And remember the season before that, Liverpool came back from a goal down as well. Also down to 10 men for Darwin Núñez to score a brace and win it. Literally with a few minutes left of that game. And we thought we were in for another banger. And they delivered, guys. Newcastle and Liverpool never disappoints. What a fabulous football game by them. I should say, these are athletes. The amount of running that they do. I mean, a lot of people think that they could have played pro, but come on, the hard work that goes into this. You need to be an athlete, the ground that's being covered, the concentration that you have to have. Absolutely amazing. What a game. What a game. I should say, by Liverpool, almost everyone wasn't good. I think only Szoboszlai stands out. I think Gravenberch also had a solid game. You know, it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. So Liverpool did play poorly. I don't want to tear into Wirtz a lot because he's still adjusting to the Premier League. He's still adjusting to the intensity of it. With that being said, I wasn't impressed at all in the first two appearances of Wirtz compared to someone like Ekitike. I don't think he's in his groove yet. And these fixtures don't get any easier because it's Arsenal next, right? So yeah, Wirtz, not impressive, but he's going to have to improve. However, Kirkes as well, I wasn't too impressed, but maybe a better showing this time, a better showing compared to Bournemouth, where he was ripped apart by Semenyo. Yeah, but there's still a lot of clicking that Liverpool has to do. They have to click. They have to also stop conceding so many goals. I do think off the ball, they do look weaker this season for sure. It's just because of the introduction of Wirtz into the team as a number 10. I don't think he really gives you a lot defensively, like defensive qualities. I know he works hard, he tracks back, he runs the good amount, but I don't think he'll put in a tackle for you. He'll close down people like in the very crucial areas. So I think you can get at Liverpool in the midfield. Curtis Jones also as well. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed, but also it's not like he did anything special. What a very interesting game. Like I said, I could go on and on and on, but I'm happy. I am happy as a neutral. It was a fabulous game to watch. They delivered. Premier League. Those are the type of games that we live for. I'm so glad that I watched this game. And yeah, with that being said, please let me know what you think. I don't think Ryan Gravenberch on Bruno G should have been sent off for a red card. I think it's okay. I don't think it's a robbery. So I actually don't think there's too many talking points from this game. I think the ref did okay because it was always going to be so difficult to manage this game. I think overall he did okay and got the big decisions right. So I know there was also some pulling and holding in the box. Newcastle wanted some penalties. I think the only issue is that the Premier League gave a penalty to Man United for holding against Fulham this weekend. So obviously now every team is going to scream, we want a penalty for holding. And there is holding in every single game. There was holding in this game. But I think they're going to establish a specific threshold. Obviously, in the previous game, Fulham, Calvin Bassey literally threw Mason Mount to the ground. It was a wrestling move. So I think that was pretty obvious compared to these ones where you can say maybe the defenders get away with it. We'll see that with every single game. So I'm not too mad at it. It was not a robbery. It was just a brilliant football game. And sometimes football does not have a happy ending. Sometimes football does not reward you for your efforts. And I feel like it's so unfair on Newcastle. It's so sad. It's demoralizing. Every single Newcastle player gave 110% to make up for the player that was sent off. So for me, it's so heartbreaking, I'm sure, for Newcastle fans and for Newcastle players and for Eddie Howe, with also the Alexander Isak situation happening, to not get anything from this game. They deserved at least a point. I think even Liverpool fans can admit that. But football doesn't always have a happy ending. And, that's it. That's just the game. Football can be heartbreaking. But what a brilliant game, guys. I really honestly could go on about it. What an amazing game. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Catch up on my other videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gentlemen, it's match day.
Who will be there? Do you care though? Who will be there?